Hey, we're live. Okay, so this is Wolf Low speaking, and I just wanted to get a gaming podcast going about games, and I'm gonna let all my guests introduce themselves. We'll start to the left or right of me. It's Kickshaw.
Hello, guys. It's Zero Inc. and as always, I'm representing the Kickshaw Brothers. I'm the commentary side of things. We do a lot on our channels, and we normally like to keep it gaming. So yeah.
Am I next?
Yep.
Justice Games. I'm a solo YouTube channel. I play really anything. I play a lot of console games. Don't got a very good PC. Big into the AAA, FPS. I was ranked in the world at one point. Then college kicked in. So yeah.
Cool, man. I've seen your skills. AG.
What's up? This is your boy AG the God, Mr. Roman Reigns himself. Let's go, Wolf.
All right. So I'm gonna let Kickshaw start us off. I just wanted you to let us know what kind of games you're playing right now and what's the good and bad.
Well, okay. I'm still playing Destiny. I know that's gonna get me a lot of flack, but I'm still playing Destiny. I got a group of friends that we do the raid. Yes, there's a lot of grinding in it, and yes, there's a lot of crap in it. But I'm hoping with the new DLC they'll add a lot to the game. But that's only like once a week because, of course, once you get everything, there's not much left to do. So other than that, I'm gonna be getting on Dragon Age, which we'll be talking about later on in the podcast. So I'll save that. Um, I love indie games. I'm actually going to be getting into Transistor. Uh, I'm uh, I'm still playing Spelunky, trying to get the game on that. I'm an achievement hunter, so I play a lot of different types of games. For me, that's where the fun is. Like I don't really like saying, okay, well I'm this type of gamer or that type of gamer, and it's fine if everyone's got their preferences, But for me, I'm all around the board. So yeah, dude, I just love games. Spelunky. I do have to say, though, is one of the hardest games I have played since the NES days, like since I was a little kid. That game, everyone I've recommended to and everyone has played it. It's been like I don't know. They have a lot of trouble with it. It's one of those platformers that just has so much to it, and it makes you want to keep playing and playing and playing because it's not a long game. I mean, you can beat the whole game in like 30 minutes to an hour, but that's if you like take it really slow.
Hmm.
But then, of course, you got the achievements that you beat it in 8 minutes, beating this, beating that, and those are the ones that I like going for. I became an achievement hunter because I noticed that a lot of the games I was getting, I wasn't feeling like I was getting the most out of my purchase. So now I beat the games all the way through. I get all the achievements. I put them on hard, and I actually play them. Like I recently just beat Alien Isolation, which is a great game. If anyone hasn't played that game, that's a great FPS. It's more stealth for their stealth guys, but there are moments in the game that do get kind of full of action. So, and then I just finished First Light also. So First Light was awesome, guys. The battle arenas in it are great. Um, uh, I don't know what everyone talks about how there's no NPCs on screen because I mean when you get in those battle arenas there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of NPCs. I normally play on PS4, but like I said I played what else have I played? I played 3D Mario World. I just recently got my hands on a Wii U. Smash Brothers, which is an awesome game. So yeah, I'm all over the board.
Can
Uh,
I take it back to First Light? You guys, who else has played that?
You know
AG.
I did.
Yeah. What did you think of
Uh,
that?
is it only on PS4 console?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, can I go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. To me, that's better than Second Son, to be honest with you. There's more characterization with Fetch than what you get with Delson. And as far as gameplay, it gives you a reason to go back because you got that whole arena mode on top of the open world after you beat it. So oddly enough, it might be a third of the length it is to actually beat the campaign, but it feels like it has more replayability.
I
Yes.
enjoyed.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I enjoyed the campaign. I just got through it. I somewhat the game. It just feels a lot of the same kind of thing a lot of the time. I kind of wish maybe there was a little bit more world. It seems like it's a little bit of a confined world. It's just like the city, and I'm getting a little tired of the city. I need to really play it a bit more though, and get a better grasp on it before I can really.
Well, see, that makes sense because if you remember the Infamous games, like earlier when you had Cole and you had, when Infamous first started, you had 3 different areas that you went to that had this that were so much, bigger than just the Seattle area. So for me, it was like, it is kind of in the same area, but like he said, I do believe Fetch was more drawn out. Like, I believe Fetch was the better character. Like, if Fetch was the second son protagonist,
That game
that
would have been a lot better.
that would have been amazing. So, I mean, it's weird though that they were able to do that. Like for First Light being what it was, like Delson, I couldn't stand him. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys felt the same, but I just couldn't stand Delson. I didn't like the way they portrayed the character. He seemed to me like just this whiny little kid.
Mm.
And that's not a superhero, that's not a guy with all these powers. He shouldn't get those powers, but Fetch, she had a reason to fight, and it really drew out her character. So yeah, First Light is probably one of my best games that I've played recently. And of course, like I said, we'll get into Dragon Age after you guys go. So
I got
those
some points. I
all
made
right.
bullet points for that one. You want to take it away then, Justice?
Yeah.
Yeah, recently I just finished playing the Battlefield Hardline beta, and a lot of people say it's just too similar to not buy a whole new Battlefield game. But I think they did a lot of things different with it, because I play Battlefield 4 a lot, and I noticed the vehicles are really OP. Like, you can get into a tank and stay alive for pretty much like 10 kills or 12. And in these, the take damage from the regular primary or secondary guns, and I think it adds a lot more, like, it's realistic. I do feel like, I've talked with this with other people, I feel like they could have just added it as an expansion on Battlefield 4, if you think about it, because the only thing they added to the game was a zipline. And that's the only difference. But, I mean, I still enjoyed it. Still played with friends, stuff like that. But, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend $60 on it. That's the thing.
Is there a season pass as well?
They haven't released anything about it yet, because the beta just ended. And I know I've been playing, Battlefield 4 also released the last expansion on their season pass, Final Stand. And it's supposed to take place in the future with, like, hover tanks and rail gun snipers. And I don't know. They released 2 things at the same time, and a lot of people didn't play that beta, I heard. They were focusing on the expansion pass. I don't know if it was a very good crowd pleaser, but to me, I enjoyed it. I haven't touched Destiny in a while. After I beat the first DLC, I was like, well, now I have to wait for the second one. I feel like there's a lot of blank space in that game. When does the second one drop? Is it House of Wolves?
See, yeah, House of Wolves should be dropping in May because they pushed it back because of the leak. Because they leaked, because of the leak, they pushed it back. So yeah, and I understand completely. There is a lot of blank space within Destiny because you are waiting for the expansion, and it's just a grind. Like AJ was saying before the podcast, it's just that big of a grind. So I understand what you're saying there, and you're right. Battlefield Hardline, it wasn't bad. Like, I mean, I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are going, oh, well, it's less than Battlefield 4, but you need to understand there are also things as different ways to there's different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Approach an FPS.
Well, it's the graphics, okay? It's not going to be, you know, there are different ways to present the graphics, okay? And I think that was a conscious choice. I don't think they purposely downplayed the graphics. I think it was just a conscious choice. I mean, we are talking about Visceral, which has much different, a much different design than, say, a DICE would, you know. So
I still have to play Bad Company 2, man. I heard that's a good one.
oh, it's the best. I still think it's the best one, but
So we lost a guy.
yeah.
This is gonna be a really short one. But, hey,
It's a start. It's a start, man. It's a start. It's on you, AG.
hey, G.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I've been playing Guilty Gear, a little bit of Killer Instinct, and a whole lot of Final Fantasy 14.
Nice.
In fact, I'm like 5 levels from getting my first ninja on Final Fantasy 14, so I'm real happy about that. But
Yeah.
I've been playing some other stuff, but it's mostly like fighting games. You know, Toukiden on the Vita.
Are you looking forward to any of those anime fighting games, or you stick mainly with, you know, like Naruto Ninja Storm 4 is coming out, and then you got the DBZ game. I forgot what it's called.
I'm definitely looking forward to that DBZ game. I might pre-order that instead of the order. I was on the fence about getting the order, but since I could just hold out and get DBZ and Dead or Alive 5, so I'll live without it.
Anybody?
Xenoverse.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Xenoverse is dope though.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that game.
Well, they got One Piece too, which I was surprised about. PW3 is also coming to North America, which I was surprised about because normally One Piece stays in Japan. And then they also had what is that other one? That mix of all the anime characters in one, where they have Bleach characters.
J-Stars?
Yeah, J-Stars. Yeah, that's supposed to be coming or rumored to be coming. So I'm looking forward to all those, man. I mean, this is the year. This is. I love fighting games, man. I mean, just because of the competition.
I have
I've
a
been
question.
Wait. Oh, go ahead.
Did anybody try JoJo's Bizarre Adventures? The demo for that? I picked it up off the Japanese store when it made a little Japanese account. I'm playing that too. That's kind of dope. I can't wait for American release of that if we ever get one.
There's a big lineup for fighting game releases, isn't there? Like Tekken, Street Fighter,
Yep.
and Dragon Ball Z all coming around.
Mortal
Yep.
Kombat, and I will be buying them all.
Yeah.
Under Night and Birth, PS3 anime game in like 10 days or so.
Yep.
I'm jealous, bro. I'm jealous of you, Wolf. Our PS3 broke. I can't get it.
Honestly, though, I've just been thinking about getting more back into fighting games. I played a lot of them when I was younger, and then I just kind of drifted away for a while. But the depth that they offer, like they were definitely intriguing.
Yeah,
I'll go with the Soul Calibur fan.
Yeah, I think it comes down to what the fighting games okay, I have to admit that a lot of the fighting games didn't have much story like going forward. Like they used to have backstory on every character, they used to have backstory on everything, and a lot of the fighting games kind of skipped on that. But I think the new generation is starting to go back to that old format. You know, like they're even bringing back Persona 5. I mean, if you guys have all seen the trailer for that, I'm sure, you know, which is, you know, a much older game. So, you know, it's nice to see that they're going back to form. They're putting more into these games. You know, I know it doesn't seem like it for a lot of people, but, you know, it seems to me like they're going back to form, at least in terms of fighting games.
Man,
I know
honestly,
Street Fighter 4. I played that on PC. I know there's story behind it, just they don't tell it in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of expect the people who are playing it to know. or maybe to read up on it.
Like Destiny.
Yeah, Grimoire cards.
That game had no story. You had to go online to see that shit.
Yeah.
That pissed me the hell off. I was playing that game. I was like, what the hell is going on? What are these big Martian, big
Oh, dude.
Spartan space soldier looking shits?
Oh, dude, I have to say that after the DLC, when they didn't even give us one cutscene, like not one cutscene, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like I spent $15, I didn't get one cutscene. Like you couldn't have just like put one together real quick and threw it in there somewhere. It was just it.
They only made a trailer for it. That's it.
That
I
was
think
our
that-
cutscene.
That's the problem with a lot of games I've seen these days is that there's a disconnect between different divisions that are developing the game, whether it's the voice directors or whatever it is. I mean, look at was it Peter Dinklage or whatever it is, his performance in that. It was disconnected. I don't know.
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, you know, and I'll go on out on a limb and say, well, he's definitely no Cortana. Okay, he's definitely not Cortana. Cortana was a character you really fell in love with. You know, with Dinklage, this Dinklebot, I guess people would call it. You just don't care about him like you did Cortana. You know.
I could tell you of a story.
Yeah.
All he was good for was opening doors and shit. Why couldn't he give him a gun or something?
Well, even in the DLC expansion, they made a joke about it. They were like, he's good for opening doors. Dude, you're even mocking your own game within the game. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, guys. Come on, you got to give us something. But according to the DLC in House of Wolves, you're gonna get a level. You're gonna be able to go up to level 39. Okay, and it's supposed to be a lot bigger than this past DLC. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed on that. You know, because I feel like they fractured the game up. That was my biggest problem. Like I feel like they broke the game apart and gave it to us in sections, and that I hate when games do that. You know, I mean, even Alien Isolation with the ending the way that it was, no spoilers, but it was just it leaves you going, okay, wait a minute, really? You know, and I'm tired of games doing that. You know, breaking up all this stuff. Yes.
Hey, Bear Hugger, can we hear you?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Glad you
Excellent.
joined, man.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
awesome,
dude. I
man.
totally forgot that this shit was going down, and my bad. I'm sorry for being late.
Dude, don't worry about it. It's nice to have you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
You're a
glad to be
big
here, man.
celebrity here on YouTube, man.
Absolutely.
What, a celebrity? Far from it, man. Hear that noise. I still have a long way to go to become the next best thing, but whatever.
You bring the character, that's what matters, man.
Well, that's what I do best.
AG, are you done what you were talking?
Yeah, I'm
Anything
pretty much
else?
done. Wait. I almost forgot. I was playing Arcana Hearts. I had to do that shit on the low though. No, man.
Yeah.
I had to buy that. I wasn't gonna pick that up in no store. I can't let nobody see me picking up no damn game like that. But
I need to play more of Kingdom Hearts 2.5. I really love it. I love when you go to the different worlds and how like, it goes to like a black and white world. It has such different settings and gets you involved in different ways. And I like the backstory of it. Except I think that some of the stories they just kind of like threw them in there. It seems like they could have done more with them. And the combat, I think they could have done a little bit more with too, personally.
I'm good. Let's find out what Bear Hugger's playing. What you playing, man?
What am I playing currently right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Wonderful 101, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Mario Galaxy 2. Yeah, jumping back and forth between those 4 games. Or 5, or I mean, I just said. I think 4, right?
Yeah, how do you like the Metroid Prime trilogy? I haven't tried that yet.
Well, this is my first time playing the Wii version, not the actual, because I played the old school GameCube one, but I never played Echoes, so that's gonna be a new experience for me. And when I had Corruptions, I played it for a little while. I don't really remember a whole lot about it when I had my original Wii way back when. So the fact that I'm playing this now, and it took me forever to finally get around to actually getting this game, because I wasn't going to spend like $200, $300 on eBay for a secondhand copy, for the due to its rarity and whatnot. So the fact that Nintendo re-releases as an actual digital download, that's a huge plus for me. And getting it for only $10, that's a freaking steal, man. But so far, my impression so far is that I'm absolutely loving it. I love the fluent, the design of the way like the Wiimote works with the game. It just feels more, I don't know, it just feels good. It feels perfect almost. It's kind of hard to explain, but just using a standard GameCube controller is one thing from way back then, but then now switching over to the Wiimote nunchuck support of it, to me, it just feels like an overall better standard as far as the game goes.
Yeah, I had a question about that because I have the game too, but I haven't played it because, to be quite frank, I don't want to pick up one of my Wiimotes and play it.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's the only controller method that's available.
It's based on it. Yeah.
Yeah, they designed it with that in mind, which makes sense because it is a shooter after all, and like our FPS games on the Wii, majority of them went unnoticed, of course, but ones that actually did come out that worked with like Motion Plus, or even just like standard ones too, like Red Steel 2. That was a Motion Plus game, right? Even though I still prefer the first game. That's just me, of course, for my own reasons. But yeah, I don't know. I just like playing Call of Duty, for example. Like when Reflex came out, like way later into the Wii's life cycle, played that, and I don't know. There was just something about using the Wiimote to move around on the screen. Kind of feels almost like you're using like a mouse in the comfort of your own hand. If that makes sense. And you know how everybody always loves playing shooter games, quote unquote, on PC, right? So, and that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm playing like a cheaper mouse version of a game on, like, when it comes like online or just general wise for the whole FPS aspect of it, I guess. I'm a big fan of it though, but I mean, I have nothing against people who like standard controls. I mean, I'm playing Black Ops 2 right now with the standard controls, even though I've tried playing it with Wiimote, and no, I suck at it. So.
You got any gripes with the game?
Oh, what, Metroid Prime?
Yeah.
No, none yet. I haven't really been playing a whole lot of it though, but I'm sure once I get like playing at like a hardcore level, I'm sure I'll probably definitely see some kind of gripes. But I probably just gonna be like little nitpicks here and there. But it's mostly probably gonna be done on my part for like screwing up or something like that, or not being quick enough to move my hand fast enough or something along those lines.
Cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm gonna go on about Dragon Age right now. And I've been playing.
Nice.
I'm about 80 hours in now. I've been playing it on and off. I'll add, just the other day I started playing this in the browser. I started playing Sword of Mana. It's a remake of Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy Advance, or on the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Game Boy Advance game, and it's a love letter, man. Like, it brought tears to my eyes just to see all how they took this game and they just the passion that went into remaking this game. It was just remade from the ground up, everything.
And what's the game called again? Sword of what?
All the throwbacks. It's called Sword of Mana. It's from the Mana series, and it takes characters and different lore from the Secret of Mana series, that whole series, and it takes all the music.
My interest.
But they added like jumps, they added all new, the whole combat, the whole mechanic is different. Everything's all upgraded. So they just remade the game from scratch, and I was just so amazed to see that. I'm not gonna run around and say the game is flawless. Like, it's an old game and it's done on a handheld device, so it's going to be limited in its mechanics. It's a little clunky here and there, and the AI is not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
Just to get my hands on that, it was like a dream come true.
Yeah, I wish there was more love for the Mana series, because like playing like Secret of Mana, and then also was there the other one that was on the PS1? What the hell was that one called again?
A Legend of Mana.
Legend of Mana, yeah. 'Cause those two games were phenomenal JRPG
Gorgeous,
games.
It aged real well, yeah.
It did, yes, it did, absolutely. And it's a real shame, like like Japanese developers will not utilize the strengths of those JRPGs anymore because no one wants to play them anymore.
Mm.
You know, which is a huge shame because I mean, if you go and look at like the PS1 and the PS2 generations, like no matter how many games that came out, that thing, both those two consoles were littered with JRPGs left and right, and they were freaking selling like hotcakes. But like
Oh,
you know, as soon as the GameCube generation or well the 7 generation kicked in, it's like JRPGs now are more of an afterthought now. It's like a big FPS scene now.
Yeah, see,
hey,
and actually, that's sorry to cut you off there, Wolf.
what?
But that's actually my biggest problem is I'm so I don't know. I really loved the way the old JRPGs played, you know,
Yep.
and I like the fact that you can get so much out of it, you know, and it has replay value because there's so many things you can do within the game, and you're seeing a lot less games actually do this, and that's the biggest problem because I think games like Persona 5, which is a good step in the right direction, they need to do more of that, you know, because that is Sony. Like that is PlayStation, you know, and it bugs me that they're not doing more of it. Is
My
what
brother right here, AG, the god, started the movement. Operation Persona.
Oh yeah, Persona's gonna see 1 million this gen. If I got to buy 20 copies, it's gonna
I would
happen.
love to see Persona make 1 million, even though that's a franchise that I haven't got myself fully into yet. Because when I had both my Sony consoles, it was during the time when like renting video games was like a mainstream thing, and the actual Persona franchise games they were never ever in at any of the retail stores. I actually
well, like
rented
okay,
from, so
I'm gonna bring up a game that I don't know how many of you have played it or whether any of you have played it, but one of the games that went completely under the radar that I just loved was Star Ocean: Last Hope.
oh my God,
Last gen.
yes,
That
yes.
game was for, and you went to different planets. You saw all these different. I was like, and the storyline on it, where you know you're just trying to find a place for humans to live again. Oh.
Favorite
And it
character
goes.
in that game is Limo.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
so
dude,
damn
she was so
adorable,
cute.
dude. She was adorable.
Yep.
She was such a freaking badass. Though.
You know what?
Party,
But
man.
all of them had their own specific character. Like the angel, I forgot what her name was. Shit, what is her name? But she's like she was always praying. She always was kind of ditzy, you know. But
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I didn't
and then
like her all that very much.
even to the store, like the store had its own like this the character in the store. Like if you went in and you because you in the game you make items, so you had this character in the store that just had her own personality as well with each item that you made, and you know she was a full-on part of the story too. So you know just the way they utilized every character in the game. I wish more JRPGs would do that, dude. I wish more stuff would do that. Or Valkyrie Chronicles is another one. You know, you're not seeing games with strategy. You're not seeing games with, you know, RPG elements.
Yeah.
And this I think is what's missing from gaming. You know, I mean, and it's not about what's most popular. It's about how many different genres we all can enjoy.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, well, no, I had to make sure because you know I always ask permission when I go on somebody else's podcast. If it's on my channel, then I don't give a fucking titty fuck. But you know, I always have to ask.
I want you guys to be yourselves. That's the whole thing, man.
Oh, okay, well then perfect. Then
Keep it real, man.
makes me feel a lot more comfortable now. Then
Yo, Wolf, you know what game I wouldn't mind seeing getting remade, you know, getting done up? Xenogears.
You know, it might.
that's been hinted at.
Mm.
That was hinted at the developers of Monolith. They said that they would love to see as you know Gear like remastered trilogy or something like that.
I predicted a spin-off on your channel there.
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, for my predictions for E3. Even though that video was a little too soon, but you know what? It'll be something funny to go back and reflect on that when E3 does come around to see how many people actually got their predictions right.
Yeah.
I predict another Assassin's Creed. Or
That's already we already know that's coming. They've already confirmed that. They already got a title for it too as well. And I forget what it was called, like Assassin's Creed. What the hell was it called now? I don't know. They announced it during Ubisoft's little keynote presentation of like investors meeting crap thing they had a couple days ago.
But now,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Finish.
But I was just saying that you know, a lot of people, you know, I mean, we joke and we laugh about Assassin's Creed and stuff, but we like these games. You know, we play these games too. Okay, we enjoy these games too.
I fucking hate QuickTime combat.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that we play Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, but we also play other types of games. And this is like the biggest thing is it's like don't just stick yourself in this one little area where all I want to play is this type of game because there's so many games that are out there and so many different genres that you wouldn't know you liked it until you played it. Like one of my biggest things was my brother. Okay, my brother was not he played Lollipop Chainsaw. Now when this game actually came out, everyone was laughing at it, but it turned out to be an awesome game, and he didn't know he was going to like it as much as he did until he played it. So don't like cut yourself off and say, you know what, I'm just not into that game, because you never know, man. I mean, you just never know.
It's funny that you bring up that game too as well, because that is a prime example of a game that's M-rated that's very colorful.
Yeah.
And I hate using that terminology when it comes to like making fun of people, not making fun of people, but like it seems like a lot of people all they want is like those dark gray and brown type shooters. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. It has to be like ultra realistic in order for them to like, yeah, this is worth $60, and they ignore everything else, right? And to me, like Lollipop Chainsaw is a game just like the way Platinum Games like. Most of their games, they go completely ignored. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the sales of Bayonetta compared to the install base when that game came out, that's freaking small as fuck. You know what I mean? So all their titles are like that, which is a real shame because they're a company that remind me of like keeping it real what gaming is all about, like old school wise. Not taking itself serious, not going like towards making like something that's based on reality or something that could be reality, right? So let's be honest. I mean, do you ever see a female being like Bayonetta? No, but that's a guy's dream, absolutely. But it's something that it's not going to foresee something actually being a legitimate thing, right? And that's what I like about Platinum. They say everybody just ignores them. It's like, yeah, those games are whatever. I don't care about them. Fuck them. It's like, why ignore it? It's a good game. It fits right in your alley. You like those M-rated type games, so why not play? It's too colorful for me.
They really take pride in what they do. Platinum Games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they are a company to me that provides that gaming experience that I loved growing up as a kid. It's not taking itself serious. It's a laid back kind of game. You just kick ass in it. Awesome story, but at the same time, the gameplay is so fascinating, man. It's amazing.
I can't wait to see more Scalebound, man. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And man, Xbox fans better fucking eat that shit up, dude. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat
Don't
that.
They
worry,
better buy it,
don't
man.
worry.
They better
Yeah.
buy it. That's the main game. Is the reason why I want an Xbox One badly right now. Is because it's a game from Platinum. I love anything that they fucking play.
Yep.
And I've been playing all their stuff since Mad World, Vanquish, even Metal Gear Rising. That game wasn't that great, but for what it was freaking awesome for what it was. So
I'll make sure to get it for my Xbox One.
let's go bound.
Yeah.
Excellent. There you go.
That's the thing I
Order
don't
right
get
there.
about. That's the thing I don't get about a lot of Xbox guys, man. They don't never play the stuff other than first-person shooters, man. You got Sunset Overdrive.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You can't say Xbox guys. That's kind of generalizing, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Dude, bro, Xbox.
Yeah,
fans.
dude bros. Yeah, that's a better way because that sums up all categories.
Well,
Even on the Wii, there are dude bros on the Wii too as well because
Yeah.
they don't want to buy anything other than freaking Nintendo stuff.
There are a lot of
those.
those. There are a lot of those people, but you know what? In this, I'm gonna stay away from that shit. Like, let's just talk. Let's keep it games.
Yes.
You know that I'm not with them because I own Disney Infinity, so there's that.
There's nothing wrong with owning that. But see,
You
that's
play a lot
another
of
thing.
Spark, dude.
Project Spark. Who
Yeah,
plays
that's
that?
a creative game, man.
Oh, that game, I had no problem. I would play that if I had an Xbox One. I like the whole creativity aspect of it. Just like when I had the PS3, I bought into Little Big Planet. I thought that game was freaking amazing for what it was.
It's
Oh,
just
like-
there's,
Oh, go
there's
ahead. Go ahead.
closed-minded. There's closed-minded gamers on every
Yeah.
platform.
There is, yeah, there is. There's no way around it. People will say I'm not closed-minded. I'm like, well, what do you play? And it's like I play everything. I'm like, did you play this game? Well, what the hell game is that? I'm like, really? I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. It boils down to prerogative, of course, and people's decision on what kind of genres they like, and that's fine. But if they only like stick to one genre, like say like as what you were saying there, was it AJ? Yeah. About the whole dude bro stuff. All they want to play is nothing but shooters. You know what I mean? It's like, don't you guys get bored of that? No, man, it's life. It's like, no, that's not life.
See, and for me, for me, you know, a lot of people will sit there and they'll be like, you know, and that's fine. If you like those type of games, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't come out and say JRPGs suck.
Oh,
Don't come out
yeah,
and say
yeah,
indie games
yeah.
suck. Don't
Well,
come out and
don't
say
come
all
out
these
and
other.
say any game sucks
Yeah,
unless you can
exactly.
back that up
Yeah.
with actual reasoning behind what you're saying. Don't just say
Yeah.
this game's dog shit. This game's only 5 hours, so it sucks.
Yeah. Well,
Shots
we'll
fired.
see.
I mean,
We'll
if
see.
you're,
We'll
if
see.
you're
We'll
making
see.
a game with a huge budget, that I mean, people are like right now with all those rumors going on, not rumors, but the people are like coming out and like talking shit about the Order. I mean, me personally, I don't care for that game. It looks beautifully, visually, it looks amazing, yes, visual wise, but the gameplay just does nothing for me. But people are saying like, oh yeah, that game's gonna last longer than 5 hours. People are saying that some people say who beat it, if they beat it in less than 3 hours. I don't know, but if you're gonna spend a huge chunk of budget money to make a game and you make it a short game, like less than 10 hours, with like no replay value or no multiplayer aspect to it, to me, I feel that that's just a waste of money. As from a developer standpoint.
You have a point there. At the same time, I would say that you could still, it could be memorable, and you could want to go
Yeah.
back to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to still see. You gotta kind of actually get your hands on games.
Yeah, it is. Because if you look at a game like Heavy Rain, right? Heavy Rain, we all know that was a AAA project from I forget what the hell the studio's company's called. But that was a game that came out. It's not a very long game because I beat it in one sitting with my roommate, but it's got multiple endings. So you have the ability to go sit through the entire game multiple times, but take different paths and that kind of stuff. I like that for a a story-driven game, single-player story-driven game. And I'm kind of hoping that the Order 1886 has that mentality behind it, where you can beat it multiple times and have different endings. Even though I read that there was going to be no alternate endings, which to me kind of sucks. But I mean, this is a company that they haven't made a big title. It's one of Sony's like PSP port kind of companies. You know what I mean? They made a lot of ports for, I think, was it for the Vita and the PSP. So this is them going in on a huge big budget title, and so far, like graphic fidelity wise, they freaking nailed it. Gameplay wise. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the game is obviously going to sell well. I'm not saying the game is going to be, dog shit or not sell worth the crap. It's going to sell well. People are hyped for it, and that's a good thing. But is it going to be the game that everyone's hyping it up to be? No, I think it's going to be the same kind of disappointment to what Watch Dogs was, and I hate saying that because Watch Dogs had a huge hype factor behind it. Order 1886, not as big, of course, but Watch Dogs was a huge letdown amongst a lot of gamers that went out and waited in line at midnight for that fucking launch day game. And they brought it home and they beat it, and it's just like, what the fuck did I just play? You know what I mean? And that's what I feel that a lot of people are worried about too as well. And I can understand people being worried about that, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like a lot of developers, they need to step their game up, man. I mean, last year was their first year with new technology. That's fine. I can accept that. But at the end of the day, if they keep going into their second year and they're not really improving on like their gameplay mechanics, they're not improving on the stuff that they promised us over the last like 2 years, saying, oh yeah, we're gonna be able to make massive worlds. You know what I mean? Like if you look at a game, like Just Cause 3 was just recently announced, right? That's a game that a lot of people are going to be excited for because with the success of the second one, exactly. You're excited for it. And hell, like, when I get the system 2 as well, do I plan on getting the game? Absolutely, because the second one, even though the game and like the voice acting and the story was shit, the open world and what you could do in that game was hilariously freaking fun. It was awesome, and that's why a lot of people liked Just Cause 2. So if the third one keeps that intact, no one's going to care for the story. But as long as the world's huge, that's a huge plus, man. You just basically make it your own open world playground, man. That's exactly what Just Cause 2 succeeded, man.
But no grappling hook in the third one.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah, they said they're gonna be adding new elements to the grappling hook. You're gonna be able to grapple all multiple different things and do different things.
So that just okay, good, because that was one of the funnest things that I had when I did play Just Cause 2. It was satisfying just sitting there hooking my freaking, my little grappling hook there on the back of a car and just like.
Yeah,
it was
we'll
awesome.
have to learn more about it, but let me segue that open world into what I'm going to talk about, Dragon Age, because I think it's a very ambitious game.
Yes.
And at the same time, I have gripes. Overall, I'm saying it's well worth my money. I'm very invested in the game. 80 hours in.
Good.
I am going to point out some things though that just people should know anyways, and I think that they can improve on. The landscapes, textures laid out really well. And they look phenomenal.
Good.
Like the attention to detail. I mean, for the size of this world, I was just blown away. The character textures and animations, they could use some work, especially the jumping. I wish there was a running animation.
What, do they run like they have a pine cone and shut up their asshole or something?
A little bit.
Oh, well. If it's not, if it doesn't look as bad as the way Shepard ran in Mass Effect 3, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
And I
we're
love
getting there.
Mass Effect 3, so, but I mean, if it's not as bad as that, I can easily accept that.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was a little bit more fluid like that. A little bit more variations in the animations. Like when you're jumping, you're not just jumping like straight up in the air, kind of.
Oh,
You're
okay. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
more
Okay.
better animated.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
The sound is up to par. It's really good.
Good.
Yeah, it feels good. The music and voice could use a little improvements. There's not enough music.
Yeah, I've heard some of the soundtrack for it. It's kind of a downgrade to the first game.
I was just making points before this started, and I was kind of trying to remember everything. But what else?
I do have one question related to Dragon Age because I fucking loved Origins, man, for the way they designed that game and how it played a lot more. Like, PC wise, it played a lot more like the old school Baldur's Gate games. Does this one still does it play more like the second one, or does it play like cross between both 1 and 2?
It plays different than all of them, to me.
Oh, but done in a proper way, not like a negative term way where it kind of like ruins the franchise like the second one did.
Yeah, they fixed it.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
good. Then I'm definitely planning on buying that game then.
They took the second one and they said this game never existed except for certain references. That
Well, they
actually
pretty
Yeah,
play the
matter of
story
fact,
in a funny way.
Matter of
There's
fact, they
some-
got a reference when you first meet
Yeah.
either or Kirkwall, Hawk.
I just wish that fat little kid from the first game made an appearance in the third one. Meant enchantment.
The way they introduced Hawk was priceless.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it now because that was the only reason why I was kind of. I mean, I was ignoring reviews because I mean these are the same people that gave reviews massive good scores to Dragon Age 2, so I was kind of skipping off that for a while. I haven't really been following too much about it because I didn't want to give myself all excitement for it. I mean, like fuck, it's just like the second one. But if you tell me that it plays better than the second one and it kind of goes back to a lot of the things that made the first one good. Excellent. That's all I need to know because now that's enough right there to convince me because the first game was incredibly well designed. And I loved going through that game multiple times with different characters to get different endings. Well, not different endings, but like different routes you can take with conversations and the way you work with characters and whatnot. So that was a big thing I liked about it. The second one came out. Oh, EA, you suck. But if they're going back to their roots with this one here, then I'm super stoked. I'll definitely get it when I get my Xbox One or PS4 down the road. So yeah, fucking A, man. Sweet.
I mean, I haven't played the first one in a long, long time on my old
Neither have I.
account, and the second one I haven't touched. So.
But I'm glad, I'm just glad they fixed the corrections on this one. That was the biggest thing I was worried about.
Well, yeah, I felt really, really confined in the second one. Like, I felt really like I couldn't go anywhere. There was no place I could go. There was no new area to check out. There was no. You were all confined to that one area, and I was like, dude, this just sucks.
That is not a problem in this one. Bro.
Yeah, no, I
Definitely not a problem.
I remember talking about that. My friend told me like the areas are huge to explore now.
No, the thing is, they should have made it a little bit easier to find different quests and different areas. I mean, you can unlock them, but it's kind of weird how you unlock them. Like you had to go onto the map and you had to get certain things done before you can unlock them. I almost wish they just like let you free roam everywhere to a certain degree.
Also, it's kind of got like that Skyrim type feel to it in a way, as far as the way the quests are done. Like only certain quests open up after you complete a specific amount or specific ones.
Not really. It's pretty freedom and open world. It's just getting those different lands open.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I see what you mean.
You got to go to this war table and stuff. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about the war table. It's pretty cool. It's a cool aspect. You get to like assign different people to it. It's just a little confusing how it's set up. Like,
but once you get the hang of it,
they're,
it becomes a
they're easier to distinguish what everything was.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I can see myself enjoying that.
But it's cool. It's cool. What else? I mean, when you do find all these environments, man, it is massive, and they'll blow your mind. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, I've seen screenshots, man. Holy fuck, yeah, it looks amazing. Yeah.
I think it's a little bit stretched out. They need a little bit more events going on in between.
Yeah.
things happening because you're going forever and you can't run. You got the same mount. I've had the same horse the whole game for like 80 hours. Why is it so hard to like? Why do you have to jump through so many hoops to get more mounts? Like there's amazing looking mounts, but you have to go so far out of your way to get them. I've explored most of the game, and I still haven't found
It's
all
probably
these
something
mounts.
like they're supposed to have like feels like a rewarding task. I think or something is what they're trying to get with that, but they're done it in a different way.
That's my pacing issue, right? One of my pacing issues,
Oh,
right
well,
there.
that's understandable. Yeah, that's understandable.
I wish that they'd had more time to really do all of these things, but this is the first year to release a game that size, and that, yeah, it had some bugs at first that they
But
patched
nothing
out.
groundbreaking though. 'Cause I did watch Rageaholic's review on it. And he absolutely loved it. Uh,
That guy's kind
surprisingly,
of a troll, isn't he?
no. He's not a troll. No. He just flat out fucking despises Sony for not because of the PlayStation company itself, just the company in general. And you can see that in his Michael Jackson music mytho that he made. He explains all that there. But no, but I mean, like he actually did his review and he actually enjoyed the game. You know, even though there was a lot of like bugs and glitches from the start, but it wasn't anything great like game breaking wise, that kind of shit. Nowhere near as bad as way Unity was, but I'm not gonna talk about that.
But while we're on the pacing and the story, I think it was a little bit not as engaging. I mean, the decisions, when you get to make decisions, they're very impactful. Like that blew my mind
Nice, that's good.
how the different situations and all the different outcomes. It's like,
Yeah,
wow,
that
I
brings
haven't
more
seen
replay
that in a
value,
game.
right? That brings more
Yeah,
replay value to the table.
but as far as how engaged I am in the story, it's not that compelling as you go along. I mean, it's too drawn out because it's such a large game, you know.
Well, I think that's why. But I think there's going to be certain moments in the game that will like actually like you'll always remember, kind of like the way Skyrim was. Even though Skyrim was like kind of horribly written, at least in my opinion, it was. There were some parts in that game that actually is like boring, boring. Oh wow, this is actually pretty sweet, and then boring, boring, boring. Oh, this is pretty sweet. That kind of thing. And I think that's the same kind of formality that Dragon Age Inquisition has. I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait till I play it myself. But
Yeah, you gotta play it. But there's a lot of side quests, and they just kind of feel like filler. Like they could have been a bit more meaningful to what you were doing.
yeah, okay, yeah,
And
I will agree with you on that. Yeah.
and like you'll go and do these portals. I'll get to the combat right now, actually. You go and do these portals. You get to seal the portals, and it's cool. Like the first couple ones, and then you do like 50 more, and you're like, holy shit, dude!
What am I
Like,
playing
it's
a
getting
Bloodborne
old.
again?
And I just wish there was a little bit more depth to the combat still, even though it does have a lot to it. I still wish there was a little bit more. And it's like I see the same weapons all the time in all these games. It's like give me some new weapons, like some like different kinds of blades and like Bloodborne.
Yeah, or that, or like the way what's it called? The Kings of Alamor did it too as well. They had a lot of
Yes.
distinct blade types and weapon
Yes.
types and maces and stuff. Yeah, that would have been awesome. They would have taken a page from that. That's also a
Great
game too as well that
example.
EA published.
Mhm.
God damn it. God damn you, BioWare. But hey, at least on the plus side though, at least BioWare though is getting their shit together because with the backlash to Dragon Age 2 plus the backlash to the ending of Mass Effect 3, yeah, they had to step their game up, man. So I'm glad to see that, at least with Dragon Age, they didn't go all out and like make it EA-ish, even though it was published by EA. But when I say EA-ish, I'm talking about like half-ass it.
Yeah.
It's like what they did with with the ending of our Dragon Age 2 and also with Mass Effect and whatnot. So I was kind of fearful about that, but if they're doing it like the way you're describing it now, dude, like oh man, I'm fucking stoked. I can't wait to get my hands on this beast. Holy shit.
Though another thing that did bother me though was the inventory system.
Oh fuck.
You pick up all these drops and none of them mean anything. I'm getting like
No.
99% of the stuff I pick up means fuck all, and I have to sell it or whatever to go all the way back to town. That's another thing. You got these potions now. You don't get like healing spells in between. So if you run out of potions, you're going back to town. Fill up your potions. It's
Yeah, I
like,
read about that. There was no more
what was
healing
the
skill in the
design
game,
choice?
and I'm like, fucking what?
Why did they design it that way? I mean, it
Yeah.
just seems odd that they did that. I don't know
Yeah.
if it had to do with the multiplayer or whatever, and they're trying to sell you something. I don't know. Not really.
Well, there's a multiplayer component behind it.
There might, well, if you think about it, if you have a whole bunch of people like healing everybody, and it might have been too strong to put into multiplayer, which is why they cut it out of the game completely.
That probably
OP,
could have been, yeah,
yeah.
because you would have had those healer type classes going in there and just fucking spamming heals. Oh, fuck this
Yep.
game.
We're not healing you if you're a dick.
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
that kind of shit works on like on like MMOs and whatnot and for PvP wise, but for a console game that's kind of complex with a lot of different shit, I can understand why they made it.
Oh, I got a question to AG and you, Wolflow, since you guys have played the game. Are the appearances of the cameos of old characters like a big thing? Like, are they impactful, or are they just kind of like, oh, well, they're on your team now? Are they like something that's meaningful, like it was in Origins, or it's just eh?
Well, because I know that Morgan comes back in this game,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
her design this time around looks like fucking shit, but that's just me. She doesn't look attractive
Honestly, she
anymore.
looks pretty cool. She looks pretty cool. Very,
Well, no, I'm going by like what I saw in like that CG trailer of her when you see her face. I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened to your face? Look like
that's Morgan, man. She's mysterious like that.
Yeah, no, but I just like because like you go from like making a character that was like hot as fuck that you would want to get in bed with him, which eventually you do in the first game, and then like like just a slight mention at the beginning of the game when you talk to her mom at the beginning of the game, and then now she's back again in the third one, and just like when you look at her, it's like, what the hell happened to you, bitch?
I always liked she's got that freaky element to her though, man.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
She's still the same old slut though, wearing that like that fucking that dress down kind of shirt, and you see her like half her boob exposed and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
one of my favorite. Go ahead. Who was that?
It's all you, man.
Oh, but I was like one of my favorite characters was Jack in Mass Effect. Like, she was my favorite. Like, of all the girls that you could see, was Jack in Mass Effect. So I like those type of girls anyway. So, Morgan was also my romantic interest in Origins too. So
Any man, brother. She was the first girl, man, that I had sex with in that game right off the bat. Nope, mission accomplished.
So did you want to say
I
something,
had to
AJ?
take Liliana.
You know what, Liliana was more. She was written
She wants
better.
too much.
Yeah, she was. I would say she has more depth to her than Morgan does. Morgan's more that girl you meet in a club, whereas then Liliana's more.
There is one more thing I have to ask though, Wolflo, and please tell me they still kept this intact, because this was something that I truly loved about the first game. Do random conversations with your party members occur in this game still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because that was something that I fucking loved in the first game. It's just like running by certain shit and you hear like, what's the hell, like that big rock dude and like freaking that I forget the hell, I can't remember their names. It's been so long since I played.
They're more generic though. They don't apply to the situation as much. It's not like, oh, look at that rock, man. When I was back, yeah.
Well, that was one thing that I liked
just
about it, because like the conversations that would spark in the first game were very unique, and but they actually they were interesting to listen to. You know what I mean? So if it's like more generic, that's a letdown for me. But that's not gonna hinder my experience.
Yeah. Maybe there's some spots that I can't remember. I haven't come across. I'm sure there's some situations though.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Like I said, I'll play it myself when I get my Xbox One down the road. So.
Dude, I'm only like 80 hours in. Like, that's not.
Yeah, true. But oh man, but yeah, from all the stuff that you've been telling me though, man, I'm glad that they kind of made this one a lot better than Dragon Age 2, because I was so disappointed in Dragon Age 2. I was pissed. I was so pissed because Origins was such a phenomenal game the way it was designed, man. Fucking EA.
Oh, Wolf. The trophies, are the trophies skill based, or are they more play through the game and get them?
This one, like, there's skill-based trophies. There's a trophy for hard. There's a trophy for fuck me mode. There's a trophy for all that good stuff.
Wait. There's a trophy for what? There's a trophy
Nightmare mode. Nightmare mode.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I thought you were talking like reference towards like having sex with all the characters in the game, and I would have been like, that would be easily achieved by me, man.
I wish, yeah.
But no, but it begs the question though, because now like if you look back at like Dragon Age 2 and like Mass Effect and the first game, like there was no nudity, right? They were just like them and like their fucking bra and panties moving on. Same with Mass Effect, right? This one here, it's like they went all out with the nudity this time around. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, like, great. So that means is Mass Effect 4 going to be like that now too, as well, during the romancing scenes? So I mean, obviously, like they had to like take that concept right out of The Witcher, because The Witcher had a lot of, not explicit, but like, I think it was the first time you seen like a full frontal, well, no, sorry, not the first time, but at least when we look at Witcher 2, right? Like Witcher 1 had its moments where you see breast and whatever you want to call it. And Witcher 2 came out and really actually go
Man,
more detail about like seeing bush and ass and fucking titties, whatever you want to call
Witcher
it.
2 was borderline a goddamn porno.
It was, yeah, pretty much. It was
I
pretty
heard
much,
the
yeah.
developers saying that it was really part of what they were feeling. So it sounds like they're a bunch of porn addicts or whatever. They're a bunch of horny motherfuckers.
Look,
So.
CD Projekt Red, I have to. This is gonna be on topic for a second, but I have to give them so much props because they're the only company right now that is against paid DLC. And
Yeah.
that's rare for a developer. When they came out and made that statement to IGN and said that every single piece of DLC that's coming out for Witcher 3 across all platforms will be fucking free of charge.
We need to support these
$3.99,
kind of
baby.
developers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when I see that's why I love, and plus on top of that too as well, like CD Projekt Red is also a company that made one of the best retro PC gaming websites on the planet called GOG, goodoldgames.com. That site, your wallet will be hurting, man. Your wallet's gonna be hurting bad. Let's just say
Oh,
that.
it is. I'm gonna need a second job this year, man.
And that's how it starts, man. It starts with one company standing up against that sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
because they got to compete. So if this company is putting all DLC out for free, then the other companies have to start competing, and we won't get these single player. Like Alien Isolation pissed me off, dude. I mean, I was like, how are you gonna?
DLC was fucking bullshit.
I was like, dude, you are kidding me, because I was like, dude, I didn't get it on day one, and I normally don't. I normally, and if I want the DLC, I buy it. But
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that frustrates me, dude. Like the whole Goro thing kind of frustrates me a little bit. I mean, I understand for people they deserve a bonus. Okay, fine. I just, I mean, $5. I mean, $2, $3, something like that.
The main reason why, I'm sure you see my video on that, right?
Yeah.
I was pretty pissed in that, but the thing is, though, I wasn't pissed like entirely about that. I was hit with a lot of fucking drama and real life personality problems that hit me when I made that video. But if I would have made that video just as a neutral standpoint, I would have been screaming that loud. But I would have been still pissed off saying that it is bullshit because it's a character that everyone fucking knows. It's a stable fucking character that's been there since day one.
Yeah.
The fact that they're locking him behind a pre-order lockdown, which will eventually be out for people that don't pre-order the game, have to pay $5 for a character that should be a main character in that game, regardless. If it was a new character, I wouldn't give a shit. But the fact that it's Goro, everyone knows who that character is. So the fact
it's like
that you locked him behind lock and key, and you have to pay extra money for that. To me, that just really fucking upsets.
Well, it's like Shadow of Mordor, a great game. Don't get me wrong. If anyone who hasn't played that should go out and get it. But
I don't like it.
It has a whole, game mode taken out of it. Like you have to, you had to pre-order it to even get that game mode, or get the DLC to even get that game mode. And I'm like, why is that? Like, why?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. Like that shit, like that, it really annoys me, and that's the kind of stuff that gamers need to speak up on. And I mean, people did when when you look at the launch for Unity, a lot of people, they said what they said, but yet they still went out and bought it.
Well, that's what gamers don't need to speak up. They need to start talking with their money.
Exactly. Vote with your fucking wallet. And people don't want, like with the whole situation right now with Splatoon, people trying to boycott Splatoon for no voice chat. Over a fucking little feature like that, it's not a big deal.
No, it's really not. No.
I mean, Nintendo did it with fucking Mario Kart and restricted it only to lobby voice chat. Same with fucking whatever Smash Brothers. But yet, did anybody really give two shits? People were pissed, yeah, but we still bought it. But now people are doing that. Now Splatoon, that makes sense because it's a team-based game, but there could be multiple reasons why Nintendo is not doing it. It could be
you've also got to you've also got to understand too that Nintendo doesn't have, like, Sony has like these whole worldwide servers and everything else like that, but they have separate servers for separate areas, whereas in Nintendo has like a full network of, so you're going to get guys on your team that are from Japan, you're going to get guys on your team that are from Europe, you're going to get guys on your team that are from so many different places that probably wouldn't understand you anyway, like Pixel Junk Shooter.
Yeah.
Like Pixel Junk Shooter, I played that, and there was this European guy I was playing. He had no clue what I was saying. But I mean, we had a good time still. I mean, it's just it comes down to,
The way I see it, I mean, you got to just let people make their own opinions and decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can voice your concerns and whatnot. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions on certain things. I mean, I don't like the whole Evolve, DLC, what they're doing right now, even though it's all cosmetic stuff, man. But yeah, whatever.
To each his own. You know what though? I wanted to make this rather short. I don't want it because I know gamers don't have attention spans and whatnot. So I just want to go around, and if anyone else has anything they really want to add, and anybody?
Make sure you guys, if you guys haven't played it on a PlayStation or Xbox, I believe it's on Xbox now too, or PC, go get Dust, Tales of Elysian. That game is awesome. It has a great storyline. You guys are gonna love it. It's one of those old school platforming RPGs. And it's quick, but it's a great game. You know.
Love it, love
You
it.
love those JRPGs, man. So do I, dude. I grew up on that fucking genre, dude. So
Well,
it's
it's more of a
real shame there's less-
platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was made like a JRPG, but I think it was made in I think it was made for with US, like you know how you had the Japanese, you have like rice bowls and stuff like that from in like JRPGs. Well, in this game you have like chicken legs and turkeys, and so I think it was made by someone here in the States. But it
Two
was made
people.
like yeah.
2 people developed
Yeah.
that, really.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Anybody?
say, yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Can't wait for that bitch to come out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That game is gonna be stellar, man.
Oh, everyone, check out for Mighty Number 9 too. Everyone seems to be forgetting that game, but it's coming out in April, so keep an eye out
Dude.
for
Going
that
by
game.
for me, baby. Hell yeah.
Dude, check out a lot of indie games. Like, don't
Yes.
neglect indie games, because there's some, like, indie games are taking it to a new level these days.
Yeah. Mercenary Kings was great.
It's so much easier to develop them now, so
Yep.
that's why.
And not only that, they take more risks.
They
Like
do.
you see a lot of games that don't take risks with AAA titles these days, and a lot of indie games they take risks.
Destiny.
But yeah, let me just wrap it up.
All right.
That's cool. So everybody just promote yourselves. You know me, if you don't already know, it's Wolf Flow and Kickshaw.
Yeah, hi. My name's Kickshaw Brothers. It's a group of 4 guys. One guy does montages, another guy does reviews and commentaries, another guy does bloopers. So we have 4 guys that just love the game. So yeah, name's Kickshaw Brothers, and come check us out.
Excellent.
Justice.
Yeah, Justice Games. I mean, there's not 4. It's just me. I mean, I'm a college student. I'm doing my best. Doing my best.
You got some roommates going
Yeah,
on.
I was about to say that. You got a roommate laughing at you in the background there, dude.
Bear Hugger.
Yeah, it's Bearhugger29 here. You all know me all too well. I mean, I don't have any. Well, I do have a brother, but he's not a gamer per se. He's an alcoholic. But me, I'm technically 2 people in one because I'm fat. But whatever, that's just me. Thank you for. I'm sorry for showing up late. I apologize there, but I'm glad I came in at the time that I did. I had fun. And yeah, check out my new rant video on my channel. I put it up there before I came in here. So check that shit out. And yeah, thank you for having me on here, man. I appreciate it, dude.
AG to God, my boy from Glitch.
As always, keep it 100, keep it real with yourself. You know how I do it. I like to have fun, play games. Remember, we play games for fun. And check me out if you're interested. I like to do funny commentary.
Man, I love your channel. I like all your guys'
It's
channels.
like a sub to you, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a sub to Justice and AG.
Well, everybody in YouTube, keep gaming.
Yeah,
And
no
we'll
shit.
see you next week, hopefully.
Yep.
And, all right. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Later.
See ya.